I'm on the hunt for a good massage chair at a great price, so I picked up this. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. This just got delivered freight, and it's a massage chair. And the reason I picked this up, actually, is because my boy, Jay Crispy, has a massage chair, and I was over at his place, and I got in it, and it was glorious. And I thought, man, you know what? We do work, and for a lot of us that aren't going to go out and get a massage and pamper ourselves like that, even though I might wear Pampers, the advantage of having a massage chair just means that you can stay loose, stay comfortable, and didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I went on a hunt, and hopefully I found a really good balance of everything. This is by BestMassage. It is a massage chair. It comes freight, and it's left out here in my driveway, so I'm going to have to get it inside. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to start unboxing it and taking it in, and then we will set it up there. Okay, I got the chair in its final resting spot. I'm going to say this. First of all, this thing is really heavy, and there's a pro-con of having to assemble things. The pro is that you can kind of take all the pieces to where you want to finish it, and then you have to assemble it. And that's the con, is you're putting together a lot of different disparate pieces. The pro of this coming together is that there's really only two pieces as far as I can tell, which is really nice. So it's going to be simple to set up. But the con is that this thing is crazy heavy. I mean, it's 100+ pounds. I moved it by myself, but I would not recommend that. Get someone else. There are actually a couple of little handles right here on the back, so it's actually not that bad if you have two people, one working this end and someone else carrying it from the back, and then it's much easier to handle. So I would even say if you live alone and you have a friend that you can call, a neighbor or something like that, it's going to make it so much easier. Just don't risk getting yourself hurt. Now, the pro of it being together is now I don't actually have to assemble much. And what we have here is mostly the chair, and it looks like it's fully reclined, zero gravity position. And then we have this foot portion right here, which looks like it'll install on this post here. And then we have to connect these lines right here, this hose and that hose, to allow the airbags to work. And I'm going to show you the installation of this. Okay, I'm going to be in the instruction booklet because as far as I can tell, there are no instructions on how to assemble this, but I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. You can see here, we have these little pivot points on the footrest. And what we have are these little holes in these brackets here on both sides. So the little post needs to go in there and get that cotter pin out of the way. What I think we're going to do here is I'm going to take out this Phillips head screw. So this will pivot up, and then I'm going to put it in there on both sides, and then I'm going to screw it back down. So I'm going to try that now. You're going to put these two connectors together here. So the electronics connector and then this air hose onto this nipple here. These posts kind of have to drop into the little receiver there. And I will say that there are really tight tolerances. And the problem between this side and this side, the receivers, is that they're maybe a millimeter too close, and metal is not that friendly. So what I actually had to do here is just kind of muscle it. So I just kind of pulled the receiver to the outside so that it would drop in there finally. So it's just one of those things that if it's really close like this and it's just a millimeter off, metal does not flex very well. And so you might have to kind of muscle it in there or massage it in or use a persuasion hammer or whatnot. But finally got it in there, and now this little top part closes down. So I'm going to put the screw back in and finish this up. All right, now that both screws are tightened down, you're just going to take this zipper, and you'll see the receiving zipper underneath here. So I'm just going to zipper the two pieces together. Cool. And now I'm just going to plug in the power here, plug down there, and a grounded plug right here. And then there is an on-off switch right down there. And what you might be able to see here is the chair is moving back to its upright position. The base isn't very big. That just takes up about as much space as a regular chair. The thing about this is that because it reclines, you're going to need some space behind the chair as it reclines so it doesn't knock into something. So I would say I'm going to give you my first impressions, but this chair has been in use here for the last hour or so, and it's pretty addictive. I do want to explain why I got this particular chair. The story here is I was at my boy Jay Crispy's, and he had bought an awesome massage chair, $4,000 for that thing. And I got in it, and it's got the arm massage, leg, feet, head, neck, the whole 9 yards. And it's a zero gravity chair. And what I really liked about it was that it reclines back, which means it kind of pivots in its own space. And so you lay in it and you get your body weight on top of the rollers. So that really makes a big difference as opposed to just having something that rolls up and down your back, and you can get some of those massaging back pads that stick to the back of a chair, but it's probably not the same when you have your whole weight and you really feel those rollers dig in. So I wanted a zero gravity chair. Now his had arm rests that had big airbags that you put your arms in. And I actually didn't want that. They're actually a little hard to find without those because I actually didn't think it did a great job of massaging the arms. It just was kind of compressing them. It felt fine. But the trade-off was that you get a whole cocoon-like thing with the chair. And I really didn't want it to not look like a regular chair. I didn't want a big thing because it's kind of intimidating. And for me, in my small space here, in my little man cave and office, there are some times that I'm just going to want to sit down and use this as a chair, maybe watch a little TV, work on my laptop or something like that. And so I wanted it to kind of still look like a chair. However, you will notice that I have the leg compressor down here, and I did want that. So there are some of these gaming chairs that are massage chairs, and I think this company makes one that looks just like this, except it's not zero gravity. It doesn't pivot back, and it doesn't have this front leg massager, and it looks much more like a regular chair. But the problem is, because I can tilt this back, because I can use this as a recliner, maybe watch a little TV, something like that, I actually wanted something to support my legs, because when you're leaning back and your legs are just dangling, it doesn't feel great. And so this is partially to massage those calves, although it's not really a massager. It's just kind of like air bladders that compress. I did like the idea that it would support my legs when I'm leaning back in it. The other thing that sold me is right in here. You can see that this is like fabric, and it's kind of like a nylon. It's a little thinner, but it goes all the way down here to the bum area. And the piece that I really liked about his massage chair was that it had an L roller, like loser. And I didn't really know what L roller meant. I actually thought it meant like the shape of the roller, that there's a roller at the top of the L on the bottom, and it moves like this, and that allows it to travel up and down. So the roller will go all the way up and down. And I think that's what it means, but it could also possibly mean that the track that it follows is like an L. So either way, the roller is shaped like an L, and it goes all the way up to the top, all the way down to the bottom, and then forward here because it will massage your bum. And so that L roller is very important to me too, because a lot of massage chairs will just have like rollers or kneaders that are static, or maybe even travel up and down, but they're not on a roller, so they don't like vary the depth and the pressure that you'll feel as they move around. So that was really cool. So that had this too. Now let me give you a quick little tour of this. I think it is pleather or a PU leather type of thing. I also wanted it in a color that wasn't just black. That's really typical massage chair color. So I got this in like this red, I think they call it, although it really looks like a burgundy or a wine. They also had it in like a brown and a white, which is actually what I wanted, but for whatever reason, they weren't in stock and they were never adding any stock. So I don't know if that's a discontinued model. You can see here that it has this head flap. It's a nice little pillow here, Best Massage on there. It does just pull off. It's just on here with Velcro. And then you can see that we have this like thinner flap that's zippered on. And that is because there are rollers right here that will do your neck area. And I actually had this down and tried it, and it's much too harsh without the softer pillow. So it does kind of compress your head a little bit, so that's really nice. Now, the roller in here is what is really impressive. It will move up and down, and you can control it. You can actually, when you turn the sucker on right here, you can just hit auto, and the rollers will start. And this being really thin allows the rollers to get really good contact. It almost feels like there's nothing there. And you can see that roller kind of going up. So that's what I'm talking about. It will move all the way up and down. So it's much better massage. Now you can see here on the auto how much it lays back, right? And the further back it goes, the higher this angle of the leg rest goes. All right. So this will kind of go up and down. It'll stop in some areas. You can make some adjustments here. You can have it focus on a certain part, change the speed. You can move it up or down. You can actually increase or relax the incline here as well. So especially if you're in the zero gravity phase where it kind of puts you in this fetal position, you're kind of laying down on it. Again, your body weight is on the roller. So if that's too intense, you might want to lift it back up so that you're not putting as much weight on it. And so you can just see, I wanted to show you this without me on it, that thing just really needs. And this roller here is shaped like an L. So there are rollers right up here and there are rollers down there. And as it gets down to the bum area, I will show you that too. Now, on the sides, you have these air bladders right here. So these inflate and deflate, and you'll feel it kind of compress your hips. Just kind of nice. It puts a little pressure on there. And it's the same thing down here. You can see how much these are inflated. So there's no kneading or massaging in these. It's just pressure. And that's okay. But, you know, the leg massagers that I've shown you here in the past that are just the standalone that you would use sitting in a chair will have kneading and massaging in them. So even though this looks a lot like that, it does not have that feature. It's just compression. Now, some will also have a foot piece down here, and I actually didn't want that because it doesn't seem to really do much. And because people are different heights, what I found is that it sometimes makes you kind of curl up. And so I just wanted people to be able to hang their feet off of here. And I wasn't really sure how big this would be. So I didn't want to have my feet kind of in stirrups being pushed back. I just wanted to be able to put them wherever I wanted to put them. Now you can see these bladders here totally filled. And this works really well. The air pressure is really impressive. And you can see that roller continuing to move. Now, I do want to show you that this control panel right here is built into the armrest, which is really nice. It's pretty straightforward. You can stop at any time. It will go on auto for it seems about 15 minutes, and then it will stop, but you can keep going. I did it about 4 times. Again, kneading, rocking, knocking, tapping, so you can kind of switch between these Shiatsu types. And then, like I said, the part here, and I think it does like higher and lower, and you just tap it to toggle between it. And I'm not sure if the green or the blue is the upper part. You can change the speed, change the amount of air. And then also there's a heating element here. And I don't use that because it's summer, but especially if your muscles are tight, it's cold out, it can warm you up. It probably feels great. You can move that massage point up and down. And then this works by reclining it or inclining it. And I will show you what you actually have to do is hold it down. And when you do that, this thing actually goes back pretty far. You lay pretty flat. And you can see here, as I push it all the way back down, man, you are pretty laid out. And I do like that your legs here are almost on level with the ground because the leg rest comes up. So that's pretty nice. You can see that kneading still going on. But like I said, even though it will rotate in the pad here in its own space, there's no way of getting around the fact that it will lean back and take up some space back here. So I have it pushed back about as far as it will go without hitting the wall, but you do have to kind of keep that in mind. You can't have something directly behind it if you're going to use it in this state. I also want to show you here that if I flip this up, you can see there's a little Bluetooth speaker in here, right there and right here. Chrome ringed. It's actually pretty nice. It's much more sturdy than I kind of expected. So it's kind of nice because you can pair your phone to this, listen to some music, be very relaxed while you're in it. There is a USB plug right there so you can charge your phone. It definitely is set up for gamers, and I think Best Massage makes a gaming massage chair, so that's pretty cool too. And I will say that it's really comfortable. Now, is this really comfortable to sit in when you're not getting massaged? You don't really get any support here because this is just like open cloth. And what you'll notice is that you don't get really support in the seat here. So one of the things that I did is I actually ordered a car seat cushion to put here when I just want to sit, because it almost feels like you're kind of sitting on like a camping chair or something like that. There's no support in the middle. And so I just wanted to kind of fill that out. And then if I want the massage, I can take that off and put it away. So that's kind of one thing that you might want to think about is if you are thinking, well, I'll use it for a lounge chair and a massage chair, you may want just a seat cushion, a seat pillow. It doesn't have to match particularly, but something just to kind of even out the support there, I think would be actually really, really helpful. Now, I do want to talk about why I got this particular chair in terms of price point and value, because my buddy, Jay Crispy, had a $4,000 massage chair. It was great. And what I really wanted to do was try to see if I could replicate the 80-20 rule. Could I get 80% of the experience and the value at 20% of the price? And I think I did a pretty good job. Is it as good? No, I would say not, because it doesn't have as many massage functions. But I don't know that I care about the types of massages or the variations in them so much. So his would do Swedish massage and Shiatsu and all sorts of different types. This one will do just generally a Shiatsu, and that's great. I think it's the one we're probably most familiar with, but it does it in a way that my experience, my back, my neck, my hips feel just as good as they did in his chair. Now, his had a leg massager, but also a foot massager, so I'm missing that. And he also had the arm massagers there, and I'm missing that. Now, some of those I really intentionally did not want to get, like I said, because I wanted it to be a small footprint and still look like a chair. But I beat the 20% price point. So 20% of $4,000 would be $800, and this thing was just a little under $600. So for $589 or $590, I think this is a whole heck of a lot of massage chair for the money. Now, if I were to put it head-to-head against my boy Jay Crispy's, his is better, no doubt, in every way. Just the rollers, the number of massages, the other features and other parts of your body that will get massaged, the overall function, fit, the speed that it works at, the controller. I mean, everything is better. And I believe his is all genuine leather as opposed to this kind of imitation vinyl. But I think if you're looking for an inexpensive massage chair that will give you a great experience, this one will do it, and it won't break the bank. It's not cheap, but for $600, I think it is worth every penny. When I part with that kind of money on a product like this, I'm a little worried about how well it will work, how much massage you'll get, how relaxed you'll feel afterwards, but I was pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I probably have an hour in this chair now before I'm giving you my commentary on it. So I can tell you that I'm really happy with this, and everyone who's tried it has been pretty impressed with it. And when I tell them that it's $590, they are pretty surprised. So great massage chair, couple different color combos. It gets delivered very quick. It's obviously very easy to put together. If you want to pick it up, I'll put a link to it in the description. Peter Von Panda, out.